Hello, namaste. Good morning, all. Thank you for inviting me for this conference. And I'm sorry I couldn't be there at physically, so I have to giving this from online. So I'm going to talk about intrinsic value-based education for sustainable farming. How do we bring in intrinsic value-based education? That would be my uh, talk today. I would be more pessimistic and a little bit optimistic. So please bear with me. Challenges of education outcome because as soon as I did my PhD and then start to observe phenomenon and then there is education. I found that education is not helping. That I became PhD. Then what? Then what? Then when I see out there, it is like inequality and injustice, the racial economic disparity, discrimination, dominance, geographical disparity, earnings versus gaining knowledge. Like what we do education is you study to earn more or you study to gain knowledge. So that is also a dilemma there, and less experiential pedagogy because when you go to job, you have to experience, you have to get experience, and then no matter whether you are PhD, masters, or any degree, when you go to the job and you would be in a lower category and then you have to excel that with the experience. So as if that education is not serving you your purpose because you still have to achieve that experience. So a lot of people they quit their university and flee out and then they start becoming a businessman. If you see a lot of businessmen these days, high level businessmen, they were all exit out from the U. And then less experiential pedagogy because the curriculum doesn't give more experience there. Only some degrees, some faculty, I mean, some discipline do that, but not all. And outdated curricula because the change dynamics into the AI and then computer technology is so high that curriculum development hasn't been reached to the space to meet that change. So that way that it became something like if you are IT operatives and IT literate or IT expert, then you are always achieving more than those who indulge with the philosophy and giving knowledge to the student. So these are the dilemma there. And then when they develop curricula, the intrinsic values system is not there because no one has developed their curriculum like how what kind of produce I would bring from my college, but it is only tied up with whether my college graduates would get job or not. So, so these are the challenges of education outcome, especially in sustainable farming. That as soon as sustainable challenges of sustainable farming means like chemical adversity in farming, like it wasn't sustainable at that time anyway, but the main major problem drawback is chemical adversary. Like in 1962, Rachel Carson wrote Silent Spring. There was an environment who birds were crying and then maybe frogs making noise and insect making noise in the spring season all wiped out because it was silent because there is no bird, no insect, no frog. So she wrote that book and it was a very popular book. And then due to after her effort, at least USA banned DDT within USA. So, so that was the challenge, and the health and the human health and environmental hazard, like chronic pesticide exposure and biodiversity loss was due to farming became one of the drawback. And impact of chemical fertilizers, it polluted soil, it polluted water and start producing greenhouse gas emissions. So that was the major factor of challenges of sustainable farming. Anthropocene, it was a very this topic was on very much discussion during I think 2009, and I was invited to give a lecture here too, but it didn't get much traction. But whole the Anthropocene is like the human factor is a major destroyer of the earth ecosystem, because after the industrial revolution, we dominated earth so badly that climate change happened, biodiversity loss happened, soil degradation, water scarcity, and for what? That for economic gain. An impact of conventional agriculture and too much unique crop, and then the too much uh, genetically modified and chemically induced agriculture versus the diverse agriculture. And sustainable agriculture could be a solution for that if we diversify the agriculture and maintain soil and water quality. If we do that, and that maybe that loss may be recouped. So that I hope on that. When we talk about value-based education, then altruism is one of the topic it highlights. Altruism is concern for well-being for others. Like if you are maybe you are leading some organization, if you are a politician, if you are a bureaucrat, if you are a professor, no matter which domain you are leading, and then if you think that, or if you are bureaucrat, if you think that you are serving for the people, you are doing your job for well-being for others. If only that insights came to your brain, then there will be a lot of change. So normally, I mean, no matter, I mean, you have to take care of your family, your friends. Anyway, you have to do that. But what happened is you become so much attached to your family and friend, and then start to uplift their improvement, forgetting all others who are suffering poverty or pain and anxiety, and they remain intact, they remain there. So that's kind of thing shouldn't have happened if education would have inserted this altruism in the first place. The role of value-based education would be it would be integrated, like ecological integrity, financial resilience, and responsible business. Because once you make ecological integrity, once you maintain ecological balance in your farm, and then you educate financially, like financial literacy or financial acumen, for example, balance sheet, cash flow, income, expenditure. If you know that as a farmer, and then you may develop a responsible business that you can produce, you can market, you can build your supply chain, and then you can contribute to the society, producing a healthy food and maintaining health of the society. So that way you will create a responsible business. So the outcome of intrinsic value-based education may be the change leadership. Like if we follow everything in order, then maybe it would bring a new generation leadership and change leadership, because they may think differently compared to what we were suffer. But that change leadership thinking, like particularly for agriculture, uh, first of all, you have to realize what is your true self. If you have land, that means you have a plenty of resource there. And then you have to understand nature and farming. Just you have if you have land, that means you have a you have some kind of property there. You maintain nature, and then you can start farming and diversify farming. That way you can realize your true self. And then you have to think that you are manifesting elements into your farm, because you put seed, you put bio fertilizer, organic fertilizer, and then seed becomes harvesting time. You harvest the produce, because one seed would produce a lot of vegetable or whatever you produce. That means you are all those elements you put into the organic manure that change to the food. And when you do chemical analysis later on after harvest, if any element that you put into that fertilizer in the soil come to that fruit, only the useful elements like nutrients, vitamins, minerals that come, not other unnecessary elements. So nature can filter that. So you are manifesting that elements when you engage in farming and bringing economic independence. So if you have farm, if you can rely on your farm and then eat your produce, and then uh, encourage your local villagers to market your products or engage them in a supply chain, or hire them as a labor, then that is a economic independence, that you don't have to do any other, you don't have to go any other way. You don't have to go in foreign country to work and then for earning. So you don't have to go anywhere. You can just maintain your farmland and you can grow on your own. That is the ultimate, that is the absolute independence. If you think that no one can destroy you if you are doing that. And then once you achieve that by yourself, and then it is up to you that how to make change in your community, in your village, in your district, country, or maybe in a globe. So best use of internet and social media, because social media could be, I have wrote in one blog that it could be whether you make social media as a sandalwood or dagger handle. I mean, there is a saying in our culture that if you make, if you get a sandalwood, would you use that for the worshiping a god, or you use that dagger handle? It's up to you. So internet is like that. So how do you use that? That is up to you. So best use of internet and social media, and then set ethical and moral standards of your doing, so that way you can transmit your vibe to your country and to your place, and initiate contact, initiate and connect market. So you can initiate market, like farmers market would when we see in the US is very good at some season in Minnesota especially, but a lot of developing country have that farmers market. If you don't have that, you can create in your neighborhood, and the neighborhood produce can be sold there. And then bring a global change. Once you can bringing that knowledge to your home country, making change in your home country, and then you can escalate that to the global, and then help others who are in need. So reevaluate land and the soil of production, integrate agriculture, food and public health, and responsible business and sustainable economy, and you can grow that way. Faith, like whether you like it or don't like it, faith is some kind of influential thing for any individual. Maybe some of you say I am a atheist, but still there is a faith because you don't like faith. So it is nobody can detach that. Oh, I don't. I am totally away from faith. So bringing faith into action, because in my culture, fortunately and unfortunately, I am a Brahmin. Like fortunately, in a way that wealth of knowledge that I have access to it, and unfortunately, there are so many corrupt people from my clan, and caste. So that means there is a wealth of knowledge you can make from the bring from the faith, for your faith. Being a Hindu, that we believe in creator, destroyer, and maintainer, three God interacting together. And similarly, the Christianity has Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Buddhists say Dharma, Sangha, and Buddha. And Islam say Tawheed, Khalifa, and the Mizan. So when it comes to the action, all boils down to the food system, agriculture, and the natural environment. Once you balance that, and then you achieve some kind of nirvana yourself. So bring faith into action. In this picture, I'm seeing that sun is providing everything that to maintain the natural ecosystem. There is some part there is a desert, some part there is a greenery, but still they all are fulfilling ecological purposes. So this would help in next generation farming if we follow that, if we bring that faith into action. Okay, this is my end of my talk, and then not enough, but let's say conclusion and the call of action. So what we have to do then? So I would suggest like every one of us has to do our soul searching. Put your hand in your heart and then think, what did I do in the past and what I am doing now? And then how do you educate your children? How do you educate your student? How do you educate your faculty if you are a top level professor? How do you educate your faculty to bring this change? And then craft own land for prosperity and teach your student to to craft your own land if you have land with you and for prosperity and economic independence and resilience. And then uh, guide them how to become economic independence. One of the things become economic independence is adopt simplicity. If you are fulfilling your food needs and housing needs, and then maintain your simple life, and then that way you don't have to even suffer for diseases. So maintain simplicity, realize the need. What are my need? What is immediately I need to do, rather than just following with the uh, tangent which never be fulfilled. More kind of thing. And then true nationality should emerge from digging soil, not loading gun, because there are revolution happened in the past, and I don't know if you see now that helping people, putting barrel in the gun, and then changing, bringing revolution. That revolution actually helped. If we look from the top, it is not, because there is a constant degradation of environment, there is constant degradation of disparity, social exclusion. So all those, there is a gap between rich and poor. Here in the United States, we debate as a racism, um, uh, but racism is everywhere and supremacy is everywhere. So every community, when they are rich enough and their supremacy achieved, and the lower is always ignored. So that is happening. So next generation leadership should think that digging your soil would give you more than loading your gun. So this is my end of the slide. And if you would like to contact me, please contact me in this address. I have a company, Diversity Intelligence in Climate Action, and you can use my personal email right now. I am not sharing my business email. And then this is my phone number, and you could text me beforehand, because normally I don't receive any other call which is not in my contact. So thank you for inviting me. And if there is any question, please let me know. And if this forum is not allow time, so you can always talk to me on email or follow me in LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn account. And also, I don't go Twitter much. I only post in the Twitter. I don't follow there a long time. So LinkedIn would be best place for me to converse and reach out. So thank you for listening, and it's very nice to give this presentation. Bye now.